Welcome, folks, to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. I'll tell you what, I've been waiting. I've been waiting to sit down and chat.
It's been a long few days.
We're going over Raw. Yep. We're going over Elimination Chamber. Yep. And let me just take this time.
She did it. She did it. We always knew it.
Oh, I'm just saying the book, like in general, the whole everything.
Everything. The last few days has been incredible. Incredible wrestling, incredible storytelling.
Hunter's in there in the kitchen.
He's chefing up a with meal. That pen right now. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something.
Things have been crazy. We're not going chronological order at all this episode. We're just jumping to the hottest things. Raw was last night, so we're going to start there. But before we get into that, I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by DraftKings. We're going to hear more from them later in the show.
Yes, we will.
I say we dive right into it. Well, that's a lie. Plug patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. This is the bonus, or this is the main feed episode. You're getting everything in this episode. But if you want a bonus wrestling Q&A podcast, as well as I get to talk about my New York trip over there,
you will.
Head over to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling for $5 a month. You get the whole back catalog. And we have merch in the description, but you know that at this point.
You already know.
Let's get into it. We're obviously going to talk Cena. We're obviously going to talk heel turn, but we're going to start at what happened. I don't know. What is that? 13 hours ago, whatever.
Right around 12 hours ago.
IYO Sky defeats Rhea Ripley to become your new Women's World Champion.
See, listen, man.
This shit rocks.
See what a good, shocking title win can do.
On TV, no less.
On TV, main event on Raw, Netflix, whatever you want to say. It was, the thing is for the last few weeks, the last month maybe, we've been kind of predicting that they're going to do a triple threat at Mania regarding who the third person was going to be, like that, depending on who won the chamber.
As simple as like IYO will get put into the match,
someone interferes, disqualification, whatever it may be, she's going to get included. At least I didn't. Most people didn't predict that triple threat match, IYO Sky would be the one walking in as world champion.
Perfect.
It was so well done. Just Rhea Ripley getting ahead of herself with Bianca, and then it cost her against IYO, and now it sets up the triple threat match even better. And IYO Sky is the world champion. So well deserved. Such a shocking win, but like, these championship wins are so important to have. Like, not every Ray needs to be an X amount of time, whatever. So these shocking ones, I appreciate them. I love them.
It's like, I kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry, I'm still coming off of travel. I'll just go through my notes. First of all, these two, we already know, but like crazy chemistry. IYO has great chemistry with Bianca, which I'm excited for.
Yep.
But like her and Rhea, we know their backstory. We know their history in NXT. They've been killing it. I like seeing behind the scenes stuff of them being buddies, which I think just adds to it.
Yep.
Couple of highlights here from the match. IYO, which I fucking love this. IYO hits, I don't know what Dakota's kick is called, but IYO hits Dakota's kick, Kairi's insane elbow, and then Asuka's Asuka
I love
lock.
that. I love that sequence.
IYO hit a sunset flip through the ropes to the outside on Rhea, which is nuts. So like to go beat for beat what you were talking about with the Bianca thing kind of toward the ending. Bianca rooting for IYO. Not sure if IYO was going to make the 10 count. Bianca's like, come on, you can do it. Rhea didn't like that.
Didn't like it one bit.
He's like, you afraid of facing me? He's like, I'm just here to watch. And like you said, which is perfect, getting two distractions at the top rope, about to hit a top rope riptide.
Yep.
Like, see you at WrestleMania. Then the Hurricane Rana counter of the riptide top rope into and over the moonsault to win. Mwah.
It was the match was amazing.
Great match.
The closing to the match. I'm so happy that they Rhea and Bianca were shoving each other. And when Bianca first shoved Rhea, I'm like, God, don't. I was like, I kind of figured. I was thought nervous. In my head, the DQ finish, like that's kind of what I prepared myself for.
That's kind of what we were thinking. Like, that's the DQ finish. IYO is mad that, I didn't get a proper ending. That's how you get the Mania
match. At the same time, I was like, that would have been an anticlimactic.
Agreed.
Like, a shove, ring the bell. Like, I would have been a little deflated. But I'm happy that the ref just let them, like, it's just pushing. Like, she's not really doing anything too crazy.
Which I haven't been seeing. I've been seeing, like, I haven't seen anything crazy about people being mad about it. I've been seeing more people like talking about people being mad about it, where I guess
I haven't seen anything people like really complain about it.
Apparently people are all upset about like a shove caused a disqualification in this match and whatever. So like the tweets,
sure, it's like, well, they did it here but not here or whatever it is.
The tweets in response are like, the IWC just finding out what referee discretion is last night. It's like not everything is.
Listen, a referee can be treated as in like the NBA.
Right.
Every referee like is different. Like some let the players like play harder than others.
Right.
Some if they even like touch them like that, it's a foul.
Right.
So we could have that story being played of the referees are kind of some allow more than others or just. Who cares?
The idea in world championship matches is like, like you said, like some refs can call it straight down the middle and like they don't give a shit. A lot of refs will be like, no, I want a clean win. I want a decisive win. So, no one got knocked down. A little shoving.
No, a little
It's
shoving.
like, and the ref came on and said, hey, like, let's get back. Then even was like warning, like, this is a title match. So like, I could disqualify. I don't want to. I could disqualify someone, but let's clean shit up and let's get back to business. It's like, that's what referees do.
Yeah, and UFC, same way too. TKO, UFC. It's like some referees kind of let them go a little bit longer than others. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see an issue with that. I actually liked it. I liked
it too.
I liked seeing that kind of.
It made me nervous that there would be a DQ.
Me
I was
too.
like, no.
Me too. I didn't want it to happen that way, and I'm happy they didn't do that.
So IYO I mean, the look on IYO's face of just like happiness and being, you tell she's proud of herself, like holy shit, and the shock. I'd be curious how long in advance like this route was planned. And then Rhea's like on the ground, be like, that bitch. Bitch. And obviously, we're gonna lead to the it is a little less cut and dry because like Bianca didn't really get involved that much.
She didn't do anything wrong.
So like Rhea lost fair and square.
The camera cut to her and she was like, I'm just watching. I'm just watching.
My guess is it'll be because Rhea gave IYO this match basically out of respect. So I could see IYO being like, hey, I won it fair and square. I saw you got distracted. You gave me that match fair and square. You got my back, I got your back, add to the match. I could see it being as easy and simple as 100%. That,
Yeah. Just asking for her rematch. I mean, they don't really rematch clause isn't really the isn't the craziest thing.
Sometimes they enjoy. Sometimes like rematch clause.
Yeah, sometimes Kevin Owens had a big thing about it. He was pissed off about it. But yeah, no, I think it's as easy as that now. And I mean, that match is gonna be. I mean, we knew it was gonna slap, but now like it's just the stakes are even higher. Just the different feel to it now.
Does this main event night one?
Should it? Probably. But is it?
You got Punk, Roman, and Seth doing something. You have Jay Gunther.
Jay Gunther is definitely not main eventing.
Jay Gunther should open the show.
I think it's going to open night one or night two for sure. I would love the woman to main event.
I think at this point with this match, they should main event night one. And who gives a shit? If sorry, Punk, you didn't get this year's main event.
Well, we've kind of like Roman has main evented for the last 7 years, so he can take a break. Punk he's got is this really the main event that he wants? And he's also said in an interview recently where he doesn't care about that anymore. So realistically, I think it comes down to politics. The main event of night one comes down to politics. Is it going to be Roman Reigns and Punk because that's what they want? Or is it the triple threat women's match? Because this title change, I think, to me, before last night, I think I would have said the Roman Reigns, Seth Punk triple threat I'd have over it. But after the title win last night, I think it's the same level.
The stakes got
a whole lot higher.
Yeah,
and I think considering last year, again, Roman main evented 2 nights. And it was, I think this year we should have a female women's main event to go along with the night 2.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see what happens. But
Punk somewhere in the middle of the card.
And Punk somewhere in the middle of the card, unfortunately, but that's how it has to be.
Or he starts he opens the night 2. But then they start going, whoa. Night 1 is a main event. Or the opening match is a main event.
They're going to start to change everything. They're going to start to change the rules and everything.
He gets a main event by being third on the card. And
I do think that day will come, Punk, but I don't think it should be this year.
Yeah.
Not this year.
I thought I had 1 or 2 other things for this, but this was great. Like I said, we're gonna kind of jump around here, but I'm excited for the triple threat. And then we're gonna get back to Bianca stuff when we're talking about Elimination Chamber. But yeah, I am, no pun intended, I'm over the moon for IYO Sky.
Me too.
So I was ready to go to bed early last night, and then that happened, and I was fired the fuck up.
I was watching
Raw
on my laptop because I was playing Xbox with a few friends, and I had the match on. and she won. It was my turn to swing. And I'm like, I was like, oh my God, EO won, EO won. They're like, what? I'm like, EO Sky won. They're like, it's your turn. I'm like, give me a minute. I gotta watch this.
There hasn't been a moment on just a Raw or SmackDown where I, like, without thinking about it, like, stood up. You know, pay-per-views, absolutely. Like, sure. Like, you know, we watched fucking Royal Rumble. We were losing 100%. Our minds. But, like, this title change on TV, the way they did it was like, oh, it was, and people say, you know, because of Netflix, there's no, like, Raw no longer has like a TV show anymore. So like every single show is like elevated. There aren't TV restrictions anymore. So I can kind of have these bangers and you know not worry about time limits and da. But yeah, I think we're ready to move on from this. I thought I had a couple more things, but ultimately, excited for, you know, assuming it turns into a triple threat. I would even be just as hyped if it was a one-on-one, whatever the outcome.
If it's just EO Bianca, like I'm not going to complain about that.
All right, let's go all the way back to Saturday night.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, huh?
Do we talk about the Chamber? Do we just talk about heel?
I say let's talk about the Chamber, because I feel like it goes into it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think there's some stuff that's important here.
So we'll start with the men's Chamber. I don't have the beats down, like who started what or whatever, but a lot of, like we were predicting, a lot of matches got made. It looks like the first big one, Priest eliminates Drew McIntyre.
That did happen.
Which it looks like, I mean, that looks like the feud they've been pushing. Drew Priest is fine, you know?
Yeah, I think it's both men could have bigger match. Like people could see like Drew in a world title match or something, because you know he should be in that conversation, that championship picture. But at the same time, there's too many guys. There's so much stuff going on that the Drew McIntyre will get his moment, you know, hopefully sometime this year. But you know, if this is the match he gets, that's what he gets.
Logan hits a frog splash off of the pod, eliminating Priest pretty soon after, which like really only the most, like that was the Daredevil spot.
Yeah, I was
expecting something else.
I kind of assumed Logan was going to be the one to do something like that, but that being kind of the only big one was kind of deflating. But there weren't really many people in there. Like Seth could have done something, but like Cena, Punk, like they're not jumping off. Drew, Damian, you know, so you're limited of who's going to do it. I wish they did more though.
I don't know what I was expecting. Like maybe he like climbs the chains or something.
Of it.
You know, I don't know.
It was. I liked how Priest got eliminated though, because it made him look stronger. Like Drew attacked him after he got eliminated, then Logan hit it, so it was kind of a big elimination. Made Priest look like it wasn't an easy defeat.
When CM Punk's ready to come in, he goes, he's the last one. He goes, they know it's me. Open the fucking door.
It's so funny.
The whole time, like I saw like on social media, the clips are coming around, like the light in his pod kept falling.
Yeah. I love those little cameras they have in the pods.
It's cool.
Kind of getting a little like not backstage, but just like when they do the clips afterwards of like the little bits, it's really funny to look back on it.
Seth interrupts a initial Cena and Punk face to face. Seth gets in Cena's face, basically telling him to stay out of it. Blah blah blah.
He's mine. Go back to Hollywood.
My favorite, one of my biggest notes here. I don't think he doesn't get enough credit for it. Is whenever they're doing that like punch for punch spot, like the yay, boo. Cena is so fucking good at it, because he comes all the way back here, lays one in, gets hit, and he's like,
he takes it, brings all the way back.
The sell is so fun, and then comes back. it's so fucking good. Logan hit a double. They don't call it this move, but it's what it is. Logan hits a double buckshot lariat on Seth and Cena, attempts one on Punk, which is countered into a slap and a GTS. Logan's eliminated. They did start playing that clip side by side with the Hangman one, which I think is just a coincidence. You know, there's only so many reversals you can get to that same.
I was gonna say, like,
moment.
We could probably find like another instance where he used that same sequence with someone else. Truthfully, it's just like, he did do it with Hangman. It's easy to nitpick and put those together, you know.
Cena and Punk double team Seth, which is a really cool moment to see. Cena goes for the handshake. Punk hugs him instead. There was a moment, I kind of forgot where it was, but there was a moment where I think they mouthed "I miss you" to each other.
I missed you. And he goes, I missed you too.
So fucking. I mean, this is like what we were waiting for. This was the moment, the face-off we wanted. Hug, instantly exchanging punches. Seth throws Cena through the pod. Punk's like, he's laid out like fucking whatever. Seth runs up, stomps him, which Punk great sell.
Yeah, he took it.
He doesn't. What I like about that is he doesn't oversell it, which an oversell can be fun. Like you see, like a Ricochet will get stomped wherever, and he's like boonk, and his feet are up, whatever.
Yeah,
which is always
rotate, flip, whatever.
Yeah, which I fucking love. But there is also an art and something about just like selling the stomp,
like it killed you,
you, and your body goes lifeless, and your face goes into the fucking ground.
Yep.
So Punk was really good at that. We got a GTS into an AA to eliminate Seth.
Loved that.
Punk is the one that pinned Seth. Blah blah.
That's what I was. When Punk pinned him, I'm like, damn. I'm surprised they let him pin Seth, but I kind of figured it was like saving, the pins on each other, because that's something he can hold over Seth, down the line and stuff. He has 2 pins over Seth Rollins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess before we get to that next topic, we'll tell you about our sponsor today, DraftKings. What up, Stache Club? Are you ready to win real money? Check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 dunks on its rivals, including Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like points, rebounds, 3-pointers, and more. Pick 6 is available in most states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Missouri, and more. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6 and cash in your basketball knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code STASH. That's code STASH for new members to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins. Only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promotions. Thank you, DraftKings, for sponsoring today's episode. Now back to the show. I guess...
Or it just adds to the story, too, of he has another upper hand over Seth and giving Seth a reason to do what he did.
Considering it took like an AA and a GTS and so much other stuff. At least it's not like a 2 singles matches.
Yeah, it's not like they had the one-on-one and then Punk just pinned him there while Cena was off, out, and whatever.
God, Punk's promo last night was so sick too. I can't wait to talk about that.
That was an all-timer for him.
All right, we got GTS and AA kickouts by Punk and Cena. Yep. I promise beats are almost done and we can just chat. Seth, this is the stomp I was thinking of. Seth stomps Punk after being eliminated. Cena puts Punk in the STF.
I'm sorry,
bro. And he actually dude, he always does it with the wrist or whatever. He actually did the fucking, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Punk, it was just watching him run over and cover Punk. I'm like, dude, he fucking just saw what happened. It was didn't even think about it.
Desperation.
Didn't think about it.
I think he thought a lot about it. I think desperation. He took advantage of the situation. At the time, we knew he was a face, and you have to do it. You could tell what
you gotta do. You gotta do.
It was nice to see. You had the press conference, right? And he's like, "I'm gonna be in the chamber. I want 17. You gotta do what you gotta do." Then that moment in the chamber of him taking advantage of Punk, and a Cena of old might have picked Punk up or not went for it. So that was a nice sprinkling. And then you saw what happened in the main event, which we'll talk about, or after the main event, of okay, so the desperation was just. Those 3 moments where desperation. Yep. We see what it all led to was fucking good.
Yeah, so good.
So anyway, Punk passes out, blah, blah. Meanwhile, so like you said, John Cena was yelling, sorry.
Die! So the shot of him in the between the fucking shit in his face, where he looks so evil. It's awesome.
Punk passes out. John Cena wins the 2005 Elimination Chamber, tying Triple H with 4 Elimination Chamber wins.
They wouldn't let him tie Stone Cold for the most Rumbles. They're like, hey, tie Triple H for Elimination Chamber.
Money. Yeah. This was, great Elimination Chamber. This a little tidbit on my part is, I was in New York and I was out. I started seeing some stuff, some rupture, rumblings happen, and I saw this back at the hotel, and I was telling you off camera, but I watched it at my hotel after the fact. I watched it at my hotel, so on my little laptop and whatever, so I didn't get to see this. I didn't get the joy of seeing this live in the moment, but.
You still got to experience it like you were watching it live for yourself.
That was my kind of 2 cents for it. But chamber match, great. I thought everyone shined. Is it an all-timer? It's solid.
Yeah, I think the men's match. I mean, I think both matches were great, but I think the men's match definitely was a fun one of the more fun chamber matches I've seen.
If anything, it accomplished a lot.
It did a lot. There's a lot of stories that were told in the match, and WrestleMania matches set up, and future feuds, past feuds, whatever.
Even just the fact that we got the Cena Punk face off was like perfect.
That's the big one, and then more Punk Seth stuff. Drew and Damian have their match. Logan honestly, Logan didn't do as much as I thought he would.
No,
personally, I thought he would last longer, than to have like a bigger elimination. But
yeah,
at the same time, I don't mind that he didn't.
So Cena. He's in the ring.
Yep.
He's celebrating. Yeehaw. I guess I won't go over everyone watched it. I won't go over two beat for beat because I ultimately just want to talk about it. But we got Cena in the ring. Cody comes out, and Cena's it's like so like maybe. So here's the thing. I'm curious your opinion on it because I rewatched this main event and this following main event segment after a little bit getting spoiled what happened. I saw on my phone of John Cena standing tall next to The Rock or whatever. So I put pieces together before I kind of watched with the context, like, oh, so Cena's going to turn, whatever.
Sure.
And just watching Cena go to Cody and be like, hey, man, me and you, man, good guy versus good guy.
WrestleMania. For that belt.
Put her there, buddy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like, if you obviously it was a surprise to everyone. If you didn't know, I don't know how over the top it was, but like this, and I'm not complaining. I loved it. It might sound like I'm complaining or critiquing. I'm not. But it was so fun. Like, during different moments where like when Cody said no and Cena went and like, wahoo. And it's like,
yeah.
Which granted, he's like that anyway.
But there was a lot of like expressions and things that he did that were a little over the top.
Yeah.
Like, no, I think
that's what I'm getting.
Like looking back on some clips, and like these are like people are doing it online too. Like, oh, we should have known, blah blah blah. Like when Cena came out and he looked at the crowd, he kind of had like a look on his face of like not like a frown or like a serious face, but it was kind of like not a typical Cena face, and it just turned into the smile. My cousin, I'm gonna give him a shout out right now. My cousin Kyle called this. He texted me before the match started. He gave me a list of like the eliminations and everything. He said, when Cena said, because Cena said earlier, there's a vibe in here tonight. He texted me. He goes, I thought of Hogan turning. No one thought it was going to happen. And then blah 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 blah. He goes, talking about he thinks he's going to turn heel and stuff like that. Boom, and that's what happened. And I'm like, bro, like there were like things. I don't know if it was like probably was purposeful, but there were like little signs beforehand that no one would have picked up on, of course. But like looking back now, like, oh, he was trying to like show us or tell us something, or we should have caught it there or something.
So a couple of crazy beats here. Like, God, look. I mean, you look at my fucking notes.
Yeah, there's so many details.
Okay, so, yeah, they're all happy. They hug or shake hands or whatever. I can't wait. It's good guy, and I'm facing you.
WrestleMania.
The Rock comes out, and then Fiend starts playing.
Oh my God.
Travis Scott comes out, stands there for about 3.5 minutes, and then the Rock's music hits again. Rock comes out with Travis Scott.
Travis has like fucking sage with him, bro. At first I thought it was another blunt.
I thought he was,
because he had it at Netflix. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But he was fucking saging himself.
They get in the ring and Rock. So I was cracking up because the Rock is circling Cena, circling Cody, looking them both up and down. And Travis Scott was doing the same thing.
He's just following what The Rock was doing.
Travis Scott was circling Cody Rhodes, eyeing him
looking him up and down, like with his belt, with this fucking hardcore belt.
Why was he doing that?
I don't know.
Let's see. The Rock says, ask for his decision. He goes, if you say no, the dream dies.
Yeah,
again.
He said, he's like, the American nightmare lives forever, or the dream dies.
Cody, it's like a perfect response to Cody.
So good.
Goes, I do want it all, Rock. My soul no longer belongs to me. And like that, like look of concern and sadness, and then because I already sold my soul to this ring and these people. Woo!
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves Cody.
It was such a perfect over the top baby face of like the my soul's already gone. to them.
My soul doesn't belong to you.
Good,
it
dude.
belongs to these people. Yeah.
Cena is losing his mind. Cena is like, yes.
He's like, Cody, I would have done the same thing. Yes.
Meanwhile, Travis Scott's like still in the corner.
Travis was fucking like fucked up or something. You looked like he was stoned or some shit.
And maybe like genuinely, I think one of the greatest lines of wrestling. Like, I don't think that's crazy to say. Hey, Rock. He said what he said and like restarted. Like, hey, Rock, go fuck yourself.
The most like
Uncensored.
baby-faced professional businessmen, go fuck yourself.
Hey, Rock.
Ever hear in your life. And hey, Rock, go fuck yourself.
Hey, Rock was so funny because he was already paying it. He's like, hey, Rock.
It's just Cody. It's just
Go
everything with Cody.
yourself.
It's like he does everything just so professional and so well. It's like only a way Cody can do it, and I love it so much.
And this is the moment where Cena pumped his fist.
Yes.
At this moment, Travis Scott started burning the sage.
Also, The Rock's facial expressions too. It goes without being said, but like, man, and that smile goes from a frown. Like he just knows how to. He knows how to fucking read the room and just like react to things so well.
All right, here's the moment. There's even a lot like in this moment. There's so much to talk about. Cena, which again, knowing what was gonna happen, and watching Cena, it was so funny. It's like, hey, come here, pal. It's like,
that was sick, bro.
So fucking
you know
funny.
what? Go fuck himself. I agree with you.
Daps him up. He's in there for the hug. And then just the immediate zoom in on Cena's face with the frown. It almost looked like it was a frown, but I almost read it as if he had no soul. It was like he was dead inside. His eyes soulless. It was a soulless look. And then The Rock, which people have been talking about this all weekend, the way he slit his throat, it's like came up all the way here.
He dragged it up a little bit.
But so there's a couple things, and I'm sure you've seen the same tweets and but the first thing when he slit,
this is what John's face looked like. The cover of Fast and Furious 9.
Sure. He's kind
honestly,
he's kind of modeling in that point. What do they call it? Voguing. He's kind of voguing.
He's voguing. Oh no, is that the? What do they call it?
The Riz face or whatever?
Was it mowing, mogging? What the fuck is it called? I don't know what it's called, but yeah. There's all right. Anyways,
but he slits his wrist, holds up 2 fingers.
Yeah,
which
different than the first time around.
So if at first he had 3, now he's got 2. So people's first interpretation was like
a lot of theories.
Is there going to be another person added?
Sure.
How I first read it was like this was. There's one more
steps.
Yeah, that's how I like Bad Blood was step 3, Cena turn was step 2, and there's going to be one more step.
Right.
That's how I took it.
And what that next step is, we'll find out.
The other thing I saw, which this I love, like I'm believing that this is intentional because I don't think it's crazy. When at Bad Blood when he slit his wrist, he held up 3. He held up 3 for Cena.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know which way did he do it?
I think he held it up this way.
I think so. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the Cena thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
or Penta.
Yeah, so Penta's gonna be the third member.
Rock's gonna do this.
I would lose my fucking mind.
I'd shit my pants. That would.
It's so fucking funny.
So stupid.
I'd lose my mind.
And he takes out the mask out of his back pocket or something. Just something so stupid.
So I love the idea of he told us at Bad Blood all the way back, and even like he did this. Cena doesn't face an outward. Heel turn. Face inward, and it's his fucking hand signature.
I saw a screenshot last year on the build up to Mania when The Rock was attacking Cody backstage or whatever. And this was making its rounds last year too, because it was like there was one of Stone Cold, one of John Cena, like people on trucks in the background.
Right.
So people like, a year ago they had Cena on the truck, like they knew this from a year ago. I'm like, well,
I don't know that one.
Cena returned at Mania.
I
think that was like kind of foreshadowing him returning at Mania, not him teaming with The Rock. A year later. I respect the thought and like us digging deep. I love the theories. I love the different things that it could be, like the team aspect.
I believe this theory. I believe this one. This is what I'm in for.
I believe that more than like the group thing. I believe the what we said. I believe it's more of like a step thing, like step 2, step 1. Then it is like a group. Because I saw people
I agree
saying
too.
like when he came out at Bad Blood, it was Roman, Cody, and Jimmy in the ring. So he said the 3 steps is like, all right, Cena got Cody, Jay's gonna get Jimmy, I'm gonna get Roman.
1 down, 2 to go.
And that's kind of the
I like
team.
that a
So
lot,
I've been
too.
seeing that, but my only like question of that is Cena's been a babyface for 20 years.
Right.
Not his first time being heel, but first time Super Cena being heel,
Yeah.
whatever. You turned one of the biggest babyface arguably ever into a heel. I would have a hard time believing they're going to turn one of the biggest babyfaces today and Jey Uso also heel.
See, my interpretation,
Maybe they could, but I don't.
My interpretation of that thought is like 1 down, 2 to go. Not necessarily to recruit them and turn them heel, but just like to like take them out, because he took Cena out by recruiting him.
Right.
Then maybe he can injure Jimmy or do I don't think every single step is a recruiting step.
Yeah, sure.
If that's
why
I mean?
like there's so many different things, and at this point,
Awesome.
bro, like the fact that they pulled this, like anything could happen. So I wouldn't hold anything past them.
But like I said, this being at Bad Blood, the Cena tease. I love it so much.
I just want to believe it.
So
yeah,
sick.
for sure.
So anyway, Cena fucking nods his head, steps back, gives him one more just like kind of nod, and then just whoop, kick.
Honestly,
right in
good
the
low
gonads.
blow.
It was fast.
Everything,
he did that shit like boom.
every move, anything that Cody took, he took. he sold it, but like he wanted to make sure that this was as brutal of a beatdown as humanly possible.
Say that it looked it. Cena low blows Cody and turns heel. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue like first time in his career, but like basic thugonomics.
Yeah,
and he was
right,
whatever. But for the most, like you said, for the first time in that minimum 22 years, the crowd went fucking crazy.
Couldn't believe it.
I haven't seen a crowd go that crazy since like Cody won at Mania.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like
haven't seen. I don't know if I've seen a crowd that shocked. Different type of shock, because when this other event, Undertaker losing a streak, it was a quiet shock.
Yeah.
Like no one in the room was even breathing, and this was like a shock. Like we never thought this would happen.
Because it was initially like, it wasn't a cheer, but it was initially just like it was a vocal reaction, and then because I think people were excited to see Cena heel and excited for the moment, but then you realize like, oh fuck, like he's with The Rock and he's with shit.
Oh, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Like, this is a full blown turn right now.
Cena blasts Cody with the Rolex twice.
I thought
that
was a nice
really
touch.
cool.
I think Michael Cole said brass knuckles,
did,
and
yeah.
Matt McAfee goes, "That's a Rolex, Cole."
Really, like, again, I think everything was intentional, but like good detail for like, either like Cody being like, let's say Cody like loosened it, like, somehow got it off him to like get it available for Cena. Really, really good. Hits him over the head with the microphone, bashes Cody with the title a couple of
while
times.
Travis Scott has the sage and fucking
He's
just standing
saging
around.
and shit.
So that's why I said it looked real, because when Cody took those belt shots, he like was leaning into it, and like he didn't put his hands up.
Cody's insane. I would
and
imagine.
he started bleeding. It was from the title, I have to assume,
Right?
Because it looked like he didn't cut himself. It looked like that was real.
The one, I'm not saying which way or the other, but the one moment, because after the first title blast, they did the Rock, Travis, and then Cena holding it up.
Yes.
And then he got up and was bleeding. So like, the camera did cut away.
Sure, maybe they could have done it there.
But like I said, I'm not.
I like to believe that,
For sure.
that he fucking took it like a champ.
Yeah, hey, believe it. I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone's dreams. But then Bloody Cody, he's probably the best person to bleed.
Best.
I
The
know
best.
there's like there's EC. I'm just kind of just talking
With the
silly.
hair,
But, like,
come on.
God, and then he's like he's holding him up. He's looking him in the eye. Let's see, Cody's busted open. Title again. Okay. Sorry, I'm catching all my notes. Okay. Oh, at this point, Travis Scott did not seem to know what the plan was.
Nope.
Because like
He was
Cena's
like
holding him down,
him, yeah.
and then Travis is like picking him up, and Cena even had to like push Cody down. Like it was clear they just had to each hold the limbs.
Yeah.
and he just like wasn't doing
And
that.
then Travis hit him.
whacked
So
Cody.
There's a report that I read this morning before I got here that Cody has a ruptured eardrum and a black eye that they say is like because Travis
dude.
hit him at the. Do you see any of the press conference?
I
after?
watched a little.
The Rock talked about.
I watched a little bit of it, but then I saw it was The Rock talking out of character for 40 minutes.
That me and Taylor were watching it, and she was like, "What is he even?" It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
no,
I
but
didn't
he
see all
talked
of
about
it.
that. He goes, "Hey,
I did see that part.
He's like, he wanted to get his hands bloody. He goes, he hit him good, and he
That's
started
what- yeah.
laughing. He goes, he hit him pretty good.
He goes, yeah, you see Travis in him? He sure did hit him.
He did.
Well,
Boob. That was closed fist too. Like they were like, Travis has to watch out next time he sees Cody because he's gonna get a receipt.
He probably should not have done that.
No, no. I have my thoughts on. My thoughts have kind of changed a little bit, but Travis being there, like in the first place, I have a few feelings towards. But we can.
Well, we're right here with Travis if you want to share him, unless you wanted to not share him.
No, like knowing now, like seeing he ruptured his eardrum and stuff. I'm like, okay,
that part sucks. That part sucks.
That sucks. Yep. Like it's like looking back on, it's like the biggest storyline, biggest segment in wrestling history, and Travis Scott was just there. And like any big picture, like you have any picture of The Rock and Cena,
he made sure to get in every
he was
frame.
In everything. Like God, there's one picture of Rock and Cena that had the crop to get Travis.
I saw that. Yeah.
I would have loved for there to have been just one shot.
Even like at the ramp, he was in the middle.
In the middle. Why was he in the middle?
Yeah.
Like, listen, looking back on it, like, it's good fun. Like, he didn't take anything away from it. Like, I don't think he ruined it by any means. Right. But, like, to me, like, and maybe there's not a lot of people like are defending it and they're fine with it. And it's their opinion. It's fine. But like, I feel like if he wasn't there, I'm not saying it would have been head and shoulders better. But I think it would have been a little bit more serious than, because I just see a guy saging himself up and down, not knowing how to hold him down, and just kind of being there with a not a fake championship, but you know what I
whatever.
mean.
Yeah, his replica,
the hardcore championship, whatever you want to call it. So in the moment, I was a little bit more. I was more upset than I am now. I wouldn't say upset, but I was just like, he didn't have to be there. And now I'm a little bit more okay with it. If he's like around more and like being a part of the group, I'm like, okay, at least he's part of it. But I think I would have liked it a little bit more if he just did the entrance with him and just stayed at the top of the fucking entrance and left. So that's just my opinion.
I didn't dislike it as much. I'm pretty neutral on it. I agree with you where I didn't love him getting in every photo op.
Yes. But maybe if that lessened, I wouldn't have as big of a deal. But
the reason I don't have as big of a deal with it, one, because he was dressed in all black, he had the sunglasses on, so like it's not like he was wearing like a crazy Seth Rollins outfit.
Sure, yeah,
he was dressed in all black.
Fit the part.
I don't know why he's heel. Like, why is Travis Scott?
People are saying it's like the Hollywood Rock. Travis Scott's big time mainstream. He sold his soul. I don't know, and that's also why people are saying Jey Uso's in the group, because he walked down with Jey Uso. So that's another egging people on.
I didn't even think
and if we're thinking like all like they stick to details and like foreshadowing things, like, I mean, again, I wouldn't put anything past them at this point.
Travis Scott was a face then. Why is he a heel now? Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think that's crazy.
Not the craziest thing.
I mean, also just kind of reminds me of like not that I'm comparing necessarily, but like, a Mike Tyson or a Dennis Rodman.
People are saying Dennis Rodman, NWO, and I get that. Like, I understand.
To me, it added to the Hollywood Rock thing, and like I liked him having like a rapper entourage and just like a guy there to look cool. I think he did. I think he did a little too much. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. But I would even say I'm neutral to maybe like a little bit to like it. But I definitely agree with your criticisms for sure.
It's growing on. It's not one of those things that like as time goes on, it's upsetting me more and more. Like, it's growing on me more. I just need, if he's involved in the story more so and stuff like that, and he doesn't fucking get too heavily involved. Maybe someone said something backstage to him. I don't know. But it didn't ruin the segment. It just
I liked the detail of the sage, because it was almost as if he was like, like this is hell, this is the devil, and he's like,
I did like that.
He's
touch.
like, oh boy, like this is a bad environment.
I did think when he first got into the ring, him and Cena were kind of in the corner, and Cena said something.
They were like chatting.
I genuinely thought Cena was like, hey, get out, like just go out of the ring or something.
That wouldn't have been a bad idea.
In my head, I kept thinking, I don't think he knows what to do. Like, I don't know if someone said like, hey, stay up here, because he was walking with The Rock. I'm like, does he know what he's supposed to do? And then when Cena said that, I'm like, oh, maybe he's telling him to leave. But he stayed.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't supposed to be in the ring.
And
honestly, he was just like, I'm staying in the ring.
Did you see the Topps trading card that they have of all three now?
No.
It is, I think my friend sent on Snapchat, actually. It's all 3 autographs, one of one.
No way.
It's crazy.
Let's take a look. Whoa. And it's just like out, like this is
Yeah,
released.
I don't know if it's been officially released yet,
Sure.
but it is.
Topps now. Okay, so that's different than Topps Chrome, maybe? I don't understand.
I don't know. There's different tiers.
Travis Scott with the Cactus Jack like face.
Yeah. And then there's another one of Cena like
Him
holding the belt.
This was another thing I was gonna, because we still have a couple of notes, but at the top of the ramp, he was smiling. He was like, he was happy to be there.
Yeah, he was so happy to be there.
But you're right. There was that moment where he didn't hold him down. You're like, ooh, he kind of forgot. Which I don't blame.
He's not a wrestler.
I don't. You forget the beats. You get lost in the moment. I get it. But yeah, I mean, good for Cena for kind of pushed him down.
They made it work. They made it work. They didn't like miss a step because of him or nothing, but they had to work through it.
Last few details here. The Rock starts whipping Cody with the weight belt as Cena really holds him down.
Put some blood on it after.
Yeah, that was the kind of final one. Does the blood and another whip.
I'll tell you what. When he showed that belt off on SmackDown, I'm like, wow, that's some diabolical shit right there. Having his father's death on there, like I needed a name, I needed a date on there, and what better date than Dusty's?
Holy shit, man, that was the moment. And this isn't my original thought. I saw a tweet about this, but it was like, it's like The Rock now. He has to do this next year because now it's becoming a tradition of The Rock coming in, seemingly fucking up the Mania main event, only for a couple weeks to go by for him to like swerve us and make it like a million times better.
It's becoming a consistent thing now. Yeah.
So him showing the belt on SmackDown was my like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, we're back.
Now we're getting into the nitty gritty again.
So some of the talking points here. I mean, we kind of been talking through it anyway, but so Cena, he sold his soul. We were kind of talking about it earlier of the lack of confidence. Maybe he thinks or knows he's not the Cena of old.
Yep.
He can't go. He can't do it alone.
Yep.
He said himself, number 17 is best for business.
It's almost like he's been telling us this whole time. Also, the new poster they released hours before was Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott. And again, obviously we would never know, but it's like they were throwing it in our face, and we didn't know. We wouldn't have known.
At the end of the segment, Cena, we got the image of Cena, holding the title, whatever. Cena kind of tossed the belt on Cody's lifeless body.
Too, it was just like so heelish and different.
And we had the final three image, like that little, I don't know if how involved Travis Scott is going to stay in, but we have in the year of 2025, we have Cena siding with The Rock.
I fucking love it.
This was awesome, dude. I couldn't, this is money.
Any like fantasy booking plan, idea, thought process you had of John Cena for his retirement tour is out the window.
Yeah.
Anything that you thought was going to happen post Elimination Chamber, whether you thought he was going to win, challenge whatever it was, out the window.
I mean, we're even on record in the reacting to people's 41 predictions. We were even like, the first question was like Cena turned heel, and we are like, nah, probably not. But if you think like even going back to like the IYO result, we didn't think IYO was going to win.
Right.
We didn't think Cena was going to turn heel. But like, and obviously they're the fucking right. Our job is to week by week be like, what do you think? What's good things? We're not here to predict the future. I'm glad we didn't, because we got moments like this.
Right. I'm glad I didn't have the pen.
But yeah, it's crazy how those two things happen, and it's like that was the best case scenario. Like, because now you're setting up all these Cena feuds that we wanted, but now we're getting heel face.
It's different
because now we can do a heel, like all these heel face matches with him and Punk, him and Seth's on the fence, and all these people that we want to, and it makes sense. And with the IYO thing, like I like every other reasoning to get Rhea into that match, or vice versa, or IYO in the match didn't make, like, now that it's like, oh yeah, that for sure made the most sense. IYO winning, and then Rhea's pissed, and da-da-da. Yeah. So it's cool to see it be out of it and be like, oh, those were perfect chess moves.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
And we can look at it. It's just like with the opponents, like you mentioned, like the dream opponents, like all these people that were, we want WWE to match John Cena up with the Ortons, the Punks, the Rollins, the AJ Styles. I'm not saying this, and I wouldn't have viewed it like this, but like those matches are like, we've seen those matches before. We've seen the face Cena and whatever. It's like, we're gonna love that. We're still pushing for it, but like, we've seen it. Now it's like, we're gonna see heel Cena versus face Orton, heel Cena versus face Styles, heel Cena versus, you know what I mean? So now it's like, yes, we're getting the match again, but we've never seen it like this, where Cena's the bad guy, and to the point of like probably during the hot takes, and I've said this like in the way of like, why would they do it the last year of his career when it's like everyone's gonna cheer him? It's his last year. Let him win the 17th, build this story, and have him go out as a true hero. But at the other side of the coin, why not have him turn heel his very last year wrestling and just running with that and doing stuff you've never done before? It makes the story more interesting, more shocking, like we mentioned. And now it's like the next 10 months are super unpredictable. Like maybe they could have been unpredictable before, but we could have predicted how things played out. Now everything's up in the air.
I saw a take on like why they did this and why it was a good idea. Because, you know, we were thinking, no, Cena, ultimate babyface. Why? Exactly what you said. Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense for business. Everyone who was there's for 1,000,000% still Cena kid fans. But
of course,
the people that grew up with him are now our age and adults. WWE has their Cena. That's Cody.
Yeah, that's right.
So, like, in reality, they didn't need Cena to fill that role because they have Cody filling that role.
Super Cena was for the kids. Heel Cena's for the adults.
Right.
That's us. That's us right now. We deserved this.
So two things. One, I'll save the juicier one for last, but one, you know, he wins. I'm not saying when he wins the title. I want to talk about that in a second.
Sure.
But he's heel for this run. I'm so curious. I'm not even asking for an answer. I'm just kind of saying it. I'm so curious how come November, December, when we're getting toward the end, you know, the swear, because he has to end his career on a good foot and as a face.
Yeah, that's what you think. That's what you think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so curious how this is gonna end.
It's gonna end,
and he's gonna lose the title, obviously.
Yeah, he's gonna win the title, obviously, but he's gonna lose the title as well.
And let's say he bows out as a heel. Like, the good thing and the obvious thing is, like, that crowd, knowing it's his last match or whatever, are still gonna cheer him, and we'll get that face or real life John Cena bow and whatever. But it would be interesting to see if their play is to keep him heel, or like do a, you know, let's say we're kind of closer to December, he's still aligned with The Rock, and then we do a, you know, he comes to his senses or he's no longer brainwashed or whatever, we get that turn again. I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do.
I can see both things happening, because I can see, like, if he stays heel till the very end, hey man, how do you put over the next super baby fit? You know what I mean? Like, that's such an easy way to do that. Like, if you're pushing Braun Breaker to be the next, superstar, you could have him do it. You could have a Jay do. You know, there's endless options.
Right.
Or, and you know, something that I think I initially thought and oh, this is probably what they should do is, towards the end of it, like along the way, we're getting slow teases of like, oh, he's like, he realized he made the mistake and stuff. And then he eventually does make the turn. It's like similar but different to when Daniel Bryan joined the Wyatt family and he was in it for a little bit. Yeah. It was obviously like a month. Like, it was a very smaller sample size, but then he turned on the Wyatt family, went back. Something like that. Crowd loves it. Like, they're gonna go crazy for Cena when that does happen, or if he stays heel that last match, like he's gonna get cheered on his way out anyway. And like you said, I also think this says so much about what they view Cody as being for the next like 5 to 10 years. They were even saying on the next Cena babyface. He's the guy for the future. That's why they didn't need Cena to be that guy. And I get it, and it makes sense looking at it that way of like why they had Cena do it, because he's, you know, Super Cena's in the past now. Like, they can afford to have John Cena turn heel, where like back in 2010, 2011, maybe it didn't make as much sense. Right. You know.
So the other thing, and I'm curious your opinion on it.
Okay.
I'll state the question, and I'll say my, because I'm curious if you agree with it. The question is mainly just for a TikTok clip, if I'm being honest. Does John Cena now win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41? I'm like, at this point, seeing all this, whatever, I'm thinking he has to beat Cody.
The answer to that question is no. I think he should. I know he should. Like, he has to win.
Do you think he will?
He will win.
Yeah.
He will, because now, again,
I'm stoked.
Because before
you can't do all this and have him lose.
No, before the whole heel run and stuff, to me at least, I was thinking it's going to be a trials and tribulations. It's going to be him gaining his confidence back. Maybe he wins the Chamber but loses at Mania, and then he wins at like a SummerSlam or something like that. And it's the build up to him winning the 17th championship. Now he's a bad guy. fuck that. Give him the title at Mania and then have him be a heel world champ for the next 6-7 months.
Couldn't agree more.
Run with that. And then he could lose the belt his last match, and I'd be okay with that.
That's perfect.
Now that you have heel Cena, there's no buildup. There's no trials and tribulations. There's no he's winning.
This is the start. Like this is the start of the story.
He sold his soul to The Rock. The Rock is going to help him win the championship at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, Cody, you're fucked at WrestleMania. This might be a squash match. This might be a Brock Lesnar John Cena SummerSlam squash match, but except this time Cena is the one that does the squashing. Like Cody, he had a great year-long run. Great year-long run. And I thought it was going to go longer before this heel turn, but hey, things change, and Cena's going to be the champ after Mania. It has to happen.
It's going to be crazy to end 41. To end 41 with a heel John Cena title change.
Side by side.
With the crowd. Hopefully, I think the crowd will play in. With the crowd booing. Like, to end 41, the crowd booing.
Oh, that's what the goal is, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Money,
and
dude.
Maybe, dude. Ugh. I mean, the swerves and stuff, maybe it's The Rock, Cena, and one other person. You know?
Yeah, who knows?
At that point, who knows? It could be a group. But, Cena has to win. At this point, he's going to win at WrestleMania. There's no way. If he does lose,
awesome.
Then I'm going to be like, well, what was that? You know what I mean? You're doing a heel turn.
And then what do you do with Cody? There's so much more to do with Cody too.
Yes.
To lose and then chase down The Rock and Cena again.
You just did a generational segment heel turn. You have to follow it up. You have to follow it up with the championship win. You can't milk this out.
People are saying best heel turn of all time. I don't think that's crazy.
Of our lifetime, I believe that. To me, it's like I can't. For me, it's hard to say.
I didn't see the 80s and 90s.
I didn't see the Hogan heel turn.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching wrestling for the Stone Cold heel turn. It's like. I'm sure it's on the level. Like if I was alive for the Hogan
conversation,
I'm sure it's on the same level. For me, my generation, my lifetime, Cena heel turn, 100%.
Absolutely.
All time, probably up there, but I can't say it is or isn't the best.
I would imagine as someone who not me as someone, but for someone who would know and has lived out through all those.
Yes, I'm curious.
I'd be curious to hear if it's top 3.
At least if it's like similar level or like feel that you get for like Shock, because Hulk Hogan was always the baby face and stuff, and for that the generation before us, it was no one thought that would happen, and same thing with Cena. So
wow, this was unreal. I couldn't believe
the way they tied everything, because I don't know if you saw, but like the match card beforehand got not leaked, but like they announced, and it was going to be women's chamber, women's tag match, Rock Cody segment, KO Sami, then men's elimination chamber. So I'm thinking like whatever happens, Rock Cody says no, it's going to affect the men's elimination chamber match. Obviously, that didn't happen. So when Rock Cody came on after and they bled everything together,
perfect.
It was so well done. God. It was so perfect. Couldn't have done it better, truthfully. Except maybe Travis Scott being less in it, but you know.
Where do we go from here? I guess we just cover the rest of Chamber.
We could cover. I was gonna say cover the rest of Chamber, and then I want to talk about Punk's fucking promo,
and then we'll just kind of start going chronologically.
I have to pee so bad right now.
I have to blow my nose. We can pause.
Okay, perfect.
We'll pause. We'll pause and come back. Okay, we're back from break.
All right, let's do it.
Rest
of the Chamber.
Something that we kind of been ignoring this whole show too. SCW Predictions Championship, baby.
Yeah. That is true.
Which I believe it is yours coming in.
Yes.
And I do believe, according to our friend on Twitter, which the only thing we had different was the two people to enter for the women's to start, and we had if Cody was going to say yes or no. Like at Elimination Chamber. So I believe you won. I saw on Twitter, I think you win. I don't really feel like fact checking it. I'm kind of going to believe them.
I'm trying to find my notes in general for it, to be honest with you. Here it is. Yeah, Tiffany, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, you won.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it.
So that'll be defended. I think the next AEW Revolution is coming up, I believe.
I think Revolution... It's either this weekend or next weekend.
Whoa.
Hold on. Revolution.
I want to say next.
I hope.
That's my guess.
It is March 9th, this Sunday.
Well, we do not have predictions.
We do not have predictions.
That's on us.
Yeah, it is on us. I honestly thought
see you at WrestleMania.
I thought it was later. I thought it was in 2 weeks, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Damn, tough.
Yeah, there's 9 matches announced. Well, one pre-show featuring Big Boom AJ.
He's wrestling again
with Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe taking on Johnny TV and MXM Collection.
Oh, shout out MXM.
In a trios match.
That's crazy. All right, anyway, let's get back
to Chamber.
All right, let's see. Elimination Chamber, women's match.
Yep.
Liv and Naomi start. Instantly, Jade Cargill returns.
Right away.
Oh my god.
Just like ripping a Band-Aid off. What a way to start a show, honestly.
Goes to swing on Liv, swerves, attacks Naomi, beats her down, has to get stretchered out. Bianca is in distress in the pod.
Everyone during that, like Liv was like, "It wasn't me, I swear," type of thing. And then like there's obviously looking back on it, people are posting the videos and like little details, like Naomi's looking back on Bianca when she comes down to the ring. Like there's a lot of like looking like, oh shit, like whatever. Alexa looked like she just saw a ghost.
Yeah, Alexa's was really
someone
good.
tweeted, she was like, Alexa's been gone for so long, she has no idea who Jade is. So she was like, who was that
what
just
is happening?
showed up? Like, why did she attack her? But yeah, everything was done so well. Naomi sold it like death. Jade looked amazing, like a superstar, and Bianca acted sold her ass off, like how distraught she was over everything that she was.
Still a lot of conspiracies about this.
She acted like she didn't give a fuck.
She didn't care on Raw.
No.
I think it was one of the interviewers, might have been Jackie, backstage, like asked her about it, and she was like, yeah, it sucks. Anyway, title match at Mania. She didn't give a shit.
I think there's going to be a lot of... I have a theory on what I think will happen there, but like there's a lot that could happen.
I either think... Like, I could also even see them just totally shifting, and now that's Jade and Naomi's story. Yep. Let's get Bianca out of it and focus on the title.
Yeah,
whatever.
100%. But
I wouldn't love that.
Bianca Jade maybe down the line.
I wouldn't love that route because like her not giving a shit is very funny because it should be a pretty dramatic thing.
100%.
So I do like the idea of maybe, like you said, seeds being planted. And maybe Naomi got set up.
That's what I'm thinking. I think could be a good swerve is like up to like we don't find out about that until later on. But like I think Jade and Naomi are going to have a one-on-one match. I think
agree.
That's just kind of
that's the Mania match,
setup. And then we'll get into predictions, but I think we'll eventually set up a Bianca Jade match. Whether it's next year's WrestleMania,
SummerSlam, maybe
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they're not going to rush that for sure. I think they should. Bianca does her thing, let them do their thing, and eventually they'll meet back up.
Bianca is next in the pod. She hits this. She whips Liv with the hair.
The snap of it, bro, when it hit her stomach. I almost had to leave the room because it hurt me so bad watching that.
Liv posted. I mean, you could see it during the match too, but Liv posted pictures after, and she had the giant fucking red
Triple
mark.
H gave her flowers at the press conference,
crazy.
and thank God, because she is just she fucking puts it all out there. Like the fucking, she gets stitches in her head. She gets thrown around. She's getting whipped and has all these scars and marks. And for the love of the game, you gotta love it. She's so great, man.
Here's the thing. Everyone I've been seeing on Twitter and stuff like that, finally Liv's getting her flowers. Not us. We've been giving her flowers for weeks.
People that have been shitting on her.
So I don't even feel the need now to be like, Liv killed it. That was her shining moment.
We've been saying that for
months,
for almost a year, probably since she won the world title. She's just improved
that as well
in every facet.
Yeah. And welcome aboard, everyone. We've been
welcome upon the train. Yeah, it's she just improves every week. She has amazing chemistry with so many female wrestlers, and they put on amazing matches. And again, she puts her body on the line for the love of the game. You can tell truly that she loves what she does, and she's great at it. And yeah, all respect to her.
I thought it was a really smart spot with Liv bouncing Bianca between the cell and the ropes with her hair. I thought that was really creative. That was really fun. Ultimately, Bianca Belair picks up the win. And, as we saw in, the aftermath on Raw, but Bianca wins. Yep. Great pick.
Yeah, it was a good pick.
This was I had a ball. This was a good match.
It was a good match. It started off hot. It technically was only a 5-person match, but the way they took Naomi out was perfect, made it work. Everyone looked great in the match. I
think Liv pinned Alexa.
Yes.
So I think that they're looking at that maybe being the feud.
There was no Wyatt 6 stuff that happened, which I kind of was. Yeah, I was. Maybe I shouldn't have expected it. I shouldn't have set my expectations so high. But I saw some people saying we saw the face-off at the Rumble because I think Liv eliminated Alexa too in the Rumble. Where like Liv and Alexa seems like a good story to tell, and you can do
Be fun.
Judgment Day, Wyatt 6 if you wanted to do shit like that. But yeah, I'm sure that those two their paths will cross again.
Even if people are like bummed about, but then again, Liv and Raquel have the tag titles, so like,
if Alexa joins Wyatt 6, you have Nikki and Alexa.
Yeah, that's true.
And they were former tag champs too. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, people might be like, oh, like Liv's getting a less of a spot at Mania, but it's like, look what she's done the past year. Like, if she doesn't have a world title match at Mania, fine. She's coming off a solid title run. She's had bangers
like,
all
it's like,
year.
Oh, she's gonna be put in a lesser match, but she's gonna make that lesser match. Like,
yeah, it should be
feel
great.
Important,
I mean, the tag matches. What was it? Io Dakota, and then was it Bianca Naomi?
No, it was Bianca, Naomi, Jade, and then Asuka, Kyrie, and Dakota.
No, I'm not even thinking that far back. The tag title matches on Raw. I know. The first one. The first one was against.
Was it Io and Dakota?
It was Io and Dakota.
Okay.
That fucking rocked. And then the week after, I do believe it was versus Naomi and Bianca.
Yes,
and they went fucking crazy.
I was getting
but yeah, like you said, like they have the tag titles, whether it's Alexa Nikki or we have like a big women's title match, whatever. She's been fucking, her and Raquel, to Raquel's credit, have been fucking stellar in tag matches. So like, yeah, I'm not worried about Liv not getting like a world title match, whatever. At Mania.
That's fine. Not everyone's going to be included in those matches.
I honestly don't have much to say about Trish and Tiffy.
Why? Because there's not anything to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it's fun.
It was a fun
It's
match.
fun to see Trish. My one takeaway is like, Trish can still go.
Yeah, she
That's
looked
like
great.
She
looked great.
I mean, everyone looks solid. Like Nia and LeRae were good heels in this. Like Nia, we're still kind of seeing. I mean, it's a mute point at this point. Like, Nia's solid at this point.
I'm surprised Nia took the pin. Honestly, I'm surprised Tiffany pinned Nia. I thought it would have been like
you would think
Trish
LeRae would just,
or since we're in Trish's hometown, that would have been the.
I am shocked. Yeah, I'm a little surprised maybe Trish didn't get the pin. But
no, it was fine.
Yeah, I think like, I don't know.
Could there have been another match in place of this? I think so, but at the same time, it's you get Trish in Canada, and also like you're pushing Tiffany as a babyface, so like having her team with Trish,
the jerseys
and
were
Canada,
sick. Their matching jerseys were dope.
Jerseys were sick, so the match was it was fine. It was fine.
I think we'll just look back on this, like if we're getting Trish Stratus, until May, like is this a one and done?
Right?
Is she gonna is someone gonna turn? Are we gonna go into a feud with Tiffany?
Yeah, what's next?
Yeah, so but like ultimately, it was a good. If it's a reintroduction of Trish, great. If it's a one-off, sure, whatever. It was cool to see Trish, but like, yeah, ultimately, I mean, compared to everything else that we need to talk about, like, that's kind of all I have to say about that.
I agree.
All right, we got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. This was a ball. They had like the special lighting with the little darker set. They were
had
fighting
no
through the crowd
on the turnbuckles too. I don't think you.
I didn't even catch that.
Noticed. They
that's fun.
They stripped everything WWE away from.
That's
from
fun.
This.
This was a ball. Sami, I mean, like I said, they're fighting through the crowd. One of the bigger spots here was Sami got sent through the stacked up tables to the outside.
Yeah, Kevin they each got put through like a good amount of tables.
Yeah, this rocked. Referee bump. Charles Robinson comes down. Charles Robinson takes a bump.
Poor guy.
And like the moment where the match was already fun, but like the next level was when Sami pulled out that barbed wire chair.
And apparently,
let's fucking go.
Apparently, it wasn't a staged barbed wire or anything. Apparently, it was.
Yeah,
supposedly.
I keep hearing that. I also think that's just like propaganda.
It didn't look. I mean, it's on TV.
It also like
so
didn't
I don't know,
like
but
it didn't stick to which I'm not a barbed wire
stick in someone's back or
like it didn't rip up Kevin's shirt or anything.
Sure.
It didn't. I mean, I don't care if it was real or not.
It's one of those things where like I saw it, I'm like, you know what? I'd like to believe that.
That's exactly. That's kind of what I'm.
But it's like, do they hit barbed wire? I don't know. It's kind of. It is a lot. It is extreme.
There wasn't blood for the. No. I mean, no one's back was bleeding.
It's one of those things where it's like they clearly didn't need blood, but
they knew Cody was bleeding later too.
Yeah, they saved the blood. Yeah.
We got a couple of crazy spots here. A blue thunder bomb on the barbed wire. It was the propped up thing. Yeah, the propped up steel chair with the two others. Blue thunder bomb into it. Fucking crazy.
Insane.
Kevin Owens destroys his fucking back. Sammy's back on the ring apron. Helps Kevin get the W. So before the the next bit, just this match in general, I had a ball.
I loved
Good
it.
Unsanctioned match. This was cool.
It was the match of the night for me. I loved both chamber matches.
Yeah.
I did love the men's chamber match, but I do think this was a fight.
Yeah.
It just felt like a fight. To me, it took like 5-10 minutes. Like they were fighting in the crowd doing their things, but it took like a few minutes for it to like kind of get going for me, for it to like really hit for me. But once they were doing those hard hitting moves, like Sami going through the double tables, Sami had the chair around his neck, and they were doing all those things. Like that's when I'm like wincing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is.
I can't remember the last time we got like barbed wire in a WWE match. It's been
too,
a while.
Like, the what they were using, the hockey stick they used as well. I mean, that fucking's gotta hurt too. Just like the angle and just like how it is like that doesn't feel good. Yeah, dude, I thought it was super well done. Sami Zayn. I actually don't think at this point Sami Zayn might not even have a match at Mania. At this point, dude, honestly, have him sell the injuries and like maybe like have him miss this one, because I don't know at this point. I don't think him and Cross are having a match at Mania. Yeah, we're gonna be, because at this point they said he's out indefinitely. So let's say he doesn't show up for another month. You're gonna have him build up a WrestleMania 1-on-1 match with Karrion Kross in 4 weeks.
And also, like, Karrion and AJ had their segment.
Yeah.
There's rumors of it being Logan AJ.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I feel bad for Sami, but it's one of these things where like,
where do you put him?
There's so much talent where like people do get left off, and this might be an instance where Sami gets left off. I hate to say it, but
I could see him,
or maybe he gets involved in the the Kevin.
I was gonna say I could see him at bare minimum. We get Kevin Owens, Randy at Mania. Sami Zayn does a run in of some sort,
and I'm saying this,
and then turns on Randy, sides with Kevin.
I'm not. Could you imagine? I think like I'm not saying this like Sami doesn't deserve to be at Mania. I don't want him at Mania. It's just
sure. It's the way the stories are written.
And I thought that like when they announced Kevin Sami at Chamber, I'm like, well, that kind of sucks for Sami, because that could have been his Mania match. So
admittedly, I would rather see. And it's by a slight margin. I'd rather see Kevin and Sami go at it again at Mania than Kevin and Randy. Like Kevin and Randy has the story, but
I mean,
I don't know.
After what happened at Chamber, it's like that's the match we're gonna get it. Right. You know what I mean?
But yeah, like we were saying, Randy Orton. Kevin picks up the dub. Randy Orton comes in. Voices hit like crap.
He was gonna do. He was like ripping up the pads on the outside. Was gonna do more to Sami.
Dude, he looks fucking good. I mean, he's always like every time he comes back, he's somehow
looks
more
better and
ripped.
better. Yeah.
This part I fucking love, dude. So Kevin, he's about to, take out Kevin, whatever. Mm-hmm. He pauses. He sees, I could do another move. Backs up for the fucking punt.
They are gonna fucking tease that
every
single week, bro. They're gonna do it. That's
security runs in, holds him back. Blah blah blah. We get whatever.
I loved
the punt tease was great.
He went to give a handshake to one of the security guards. He's like, "Hey, shake my hand. Nice to meet you." And then he hits him with the RKO.
He RKO'd like 4 or 5 security guards.
I mean, also like shout out to Kevin Owens, man. Between the match and like when Orton came out and they cut to Kevin, this dude's having a fucking mental breakdown in the ring. Like tears going down his face, crying, screaming, like, man, performance of a lifetime. Then Orton looked like $1 million. That punt is gonna hit like crap.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's whether it's at Mania or I think it probably would save it for Mania, bro. That is gonna be insane. It's gonna be wild. I'm hyped for. I'm looking forward to Randy KO.
No, me too.
It's gonna be a good match, but it does you're sacrificing Sami Zayn's spot in his moment for this, but that's just how it is sometimes.
All right, that's the Chamber. Let's move over to Raw here. We got CM Punk kicking off the show. He's fucking pissed.
He's walking. He's
my god,
like an angry old man.
Gets up on the whatever. He's like, who do we start with? Give me a name.
Give me a name. Come on.
Pat and Cole like, Rock. How about Cena? How about?
He's like, what'd you say, Pat? Rock. All right, let's start with the Rock. That bald fraud.
Listen up, Dwayne. You bald fraud. So he runs through the Rock about it's old and new grievances. Yeah, he's like, so you can come out and do this bullshit. Slapping your fucking arm.
So good, acting like you love this.
He calls out. He says like, I couldn't imagine being so. I forget the word he used, but I couldn't imagine being so pretentious. You got to carry around a fake title that you didn't earn. I earned things.
Yeah.
You carry around a fake title, call yourself the People's Champ when you didn't win shit. So he runs down the Rock. Then he goes to Cena, which is like. We talked ad nauseum about how cool the moment was. I missed you. I missed you too. And they had such a respect for each other. And then, like, you can imagine as he's doing the promo, you can imagine Punk being backstage, seeing the heel turn, and I like it's a feeling of. In that moment, Cena betrayed Punk as well. He betrayed a lot of people, but Punk was one person in that night. He was two-faced, which I guess Cena did post the picture of Two-Face from Batman. Yeah, so Punk's fucking pissed. He goes, "You can't see me. Now we can all see through you."
He, I think there was like a clip they showed afterwards of when CM Punk lost and he's walking away and all security's holding him back, and he was like trying to like get up to like go say shit to Cena, whatever. Like that was, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like in the moment. It was Cena did what he did. It's like desperation, whatever. Then it's like you realize why he did it,
right?
And the bigger the heel turn, it's like okay, now that's bullshit. CM Punk was.
He says, given what you did, you've been fake this whole time. He basically calls his whole career and character bullshit.
Yeah, like lying to kids and shit.
He brings up the Make-A-Wish thing. I think I had the line. He says. He goes, I'll see both you bald frauds down the line. You're gonna make a wish that I never did.
Yep.
He brought up Make-A-Wish.
I've been seeing so many memes of Cena like with like holding up the thing that says like "fuck them kids" or whatever, or just like break the wish or shit like that.
Then he goes, "All right, now it's time for Seth Rollins." He goes, "Becky better come get his man before I put him in a wheelchair."
Yeah, right off rip.
Seth's music hits instantly. Punk turns, hops off the shit, runs down the ramp. Once Seth sees him, he runs. They fucking sprint at each other, start fucking beating each other to death. This was one of the best like brawls, pull-aparts I've ever seen.
One of the best brawls in recent history, at the very least. It was
rocked.
Letting them go at it and stuff, and just really like selling it, like going through the crowd, the ramp, everywhere. Like,
and a lot of times it can be like the security holds them back and one breaks free, but they did a really good job at like making it as realistic as you can of breaking free or one breaking free and attack. They did it like 5 or 6 times, but like it never felt easy. It never felt like okay. It was a great.
They were truly fighting back to like get to the other person. No, it was so well done.
A shit ton of security. Jason Jordan's out there sweating. Yeah, this was great. We obviously they lead to late. Well, we'll just talk about it later during the show. Seth I think is like getting half interviewed, and then all of a sudden they see each other from halfway down the hall, and they sprint
playing
at
into
each
it
other
for a little while longer. They
again, we got another mini pull apart. It's all you don't need Roman for this. No. I just don't know where else Roman is fitting in terms of being in an actual match.
It's gonna happen.
And I get they both have their grief. Like they all connect for sure. But like this is a fucking blood feud. This is
it's just crazy how like you could have any combination. We were thinking it could have been Roman Punk 1-on-1, then it's Roman Seth 1-on-1, then CM Punk Seth 1-on-1. But it's like, hey, I mean, you could have all three. It seems like that's definitely what's going to happen.
Which playing to more of that is later on in the show. Seth's like, and Adam Pearce, like, do what you need to do. And so, this is crazy. Next week on Raw, we're getting Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in a steel cage.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So now people are speculating this is where Roman gets introduced.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of in that camp of like, I think it's going to go to like a no finish or something. Like no one... I don't think one of them should get the upper hand over the other because I think we don't want to be throwing away pinfalls. And like the whole Punk pinning Seth in the chamber is already like, to me, it's like, okay, like that's enough. Like I don't need Punk.
Well, who won the Raw debut? Punk.
Yeah, so he has 2 pins over Seth. And like again, the chamber once, like it was a double finisher. It's just the chamber match, not 1-on-1, but it's still a thing that happened. If Punk pinned Seth, like next week on Raw, then it's like I'm still interested in the feud, don't get me wrong, but now it's like, okay, like Seth, like he can't beat anyone. He couldn't beat Cody in a feud. He couldn't beat Edge. He can't beat fucking Punk. Like, so I'm gonna start looking at it that way a little bit, but I think this will end with like Roman returning and costing both or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Gets in the cage, locks it behind him, or
rips the door out. Have him do some badass shit. And it's an MSG, so it's a big show. It's a big event.
Again, wish I planned my fucking New York trip better. I go, well,
you can still go. You can say go back to back.
All right, we go into a Judgment Day segment. Finn's unhappy. Blah blah blah.
Like every week.
I made a note of this. People were quick to correct me. But like we're like there's like Demon Finn Balor stuff in the background, which sure has it's been there for a year. It's been there all the time. Blah blah blah.
I feel like it's been more like emphasized the last few
That's
weeks.
the thing. I don't remember. Oh, actually, on the I should stop doing that. It's been, the reason I brought it up is because it's been front and center. It's been a giant red fucking whatever the fuck it was.
They've been teasing like a new member and stuff.
I get it. It's Finn's merch. It's gonna be, he's gonna have the shit in the background. But like now it's like you said, it's being brought out front and center and whatever. We're allowed to speculate on everything else, and this is where we're drawing the fucking line at fucking Finn Balor not doing shit for 3 years, and we have an inclination of something happening, and everyone's like, no.
I don't want him to turn. I don't want the demon to come back. I've said that many times, and I'm standing by it because I think the demon character, they fucking buried it years ago, and it would take a lot for it to get back into prominence for me. And in this case, like I just said, like if he brings back the demon character, it would probably be against the newest member of Judgment Day. If he can't that's a match he has to win. And if it's a new member of Judgment Day, you'd think that person would have to win. So
I'm in on Demon only because it's been so long that like I'm fine with like let's try one more time.
Yeah,
let's try one more time.
If they do, he needs to keep winning.
And I would rather like new member of the Judgment Day, whatever. But we did get Finn and Braun Breaker stuff last night. So like, if you're gonna do that, do Finn and Braun Breaker, or if AJ's in the match, whatever. Have Demon Finn in the IC title match. Finn Balor wins the IC title.
Listen, I'm okay with them bringing it back if they do something good with it and he's winning matches.
Right.
But like if they bring it back and he loses right away, I'm not even saying like retire the demon character. If I'm Finn, I'm asking for my release.
Finn's wash.
I'm
not disagreeing.
I'm quitting.
Yeah.
I'm walking out. I'm not like asking. I'm walking out like CM Punk did in 2014.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Like,
Fuck
I'm slightly more optimistic. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing in terms of if they fumble it.
Yeah, they can't do that. They can't do that to him.
All right, next we have Gunther versus Otis putting on a little show here.
Yeah.
Gunther cuts a little promo. You suck. You're fat. Whatever. Gunther takes a cheap shot at Otis with the kick. In the match, they start going chop for fucking chop. Otis, my note here is Otis is as, right now, especially in that match, and props to Gunther being like that heel on that other side of the coin. Otis is over. People are behind him. This was the moment like, oh, he's fucking over. People went crazy for the caterpillar. People were hoping he'd pull out the dub. I don't know what you can do with Otis, but like now is the time to do something.
Yeah, you know? To me, it's like when Chad
mid-card
Gable,
title or something.
I thought they would have done more with him when Chad kind of turned on Alpha Academy and all that, but they really didn't.
For sure.
There's been a few opportunities for them to kind of capitalize on them to like kind of run with him as like a solo baby. Like the fans love him and stuff like that, but I don't know. They haven't made me believe that they'll do something with him on his own. I will say the last 2 weeks with Tozawa and Otis again, like one-on-one matches, makes me think that that's a direction we're going down, and I hope that's the case because again they love Otis.
At least they're not like they're not forgetting about Alpha Academy, which is nice. Sure, they're losing, but like they're showing off.
Yeah.
So it's like I would if you're gonna pull the trigger on something, it's like, and like it did ebb and flow for sure, and we're back up. Yeah. We're back up on Otis. I don't know. Gunther got the dub, powerbomb, blah, blah, blah. Gunther starts beating down Alpha Academy. Jay Uso comes in for the save. Gunther gets the upper hand at first. Jay hits him with a spear, blah, blah, blah. And I believe, I don't know if this is true or not, but I felt like this was our first moment of Jay holding the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's done it before in this build, but regardless if he did or not, it was a cool moment to see like the
visual
of like, you know, he had a promo later in the night too, all fiery with whoever was interviewing him. Then he went out in Buffalo shirtless. And he was like, people, you know, doubting me, 10 weeks of hell, da-da-da.
The idea of
this was cool.
The idea of like Jey Uso holding up the belt, where it's like Triple H's like, hold up the belt. It's like just to see like, all right, let's see if he looks good with it or not. And it's like he sees him with him, he goes, all right, now we're canceling plans. He's not winning it.
He didn't look good with him.
We
got the image. That's all we need. A-Town Down Under come out for some fucking reason. I know they had their thing last week, but whatever. They jump Jay. Jay handles him all good. Gunther then comes back in, takes advantage of the distraction, puts Jay in a sleeper to get the upper hand. I'm having fun with this build.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Nothing.
I think it's at this point, I still think, we were talking about it earlier, I do think it's a perfect night one opener to kick off the whole thing, have a banger of a Jey Uso win, and then
kicking off
start off the show fire.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I hate to say it, but no main event in the future for Gunther or Jey at WrestleMania.
No, I don't think so. At least at 41.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, then we got it was really a title match Monday. We got Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile for the IC title. I think I and a lot of people thought maybe this could have been Ivy Nile's shocking win.
Yeah, because American made, they all had title matches.
Right.
So yeah.
I don't have much to say about this. It was a good match. I'm glad they're fucking getting time.
Yeah,
because this is like Lyra finally had a fun title defense.
Yeah, I'm just happy Lyra's getting matches under her belt and defenses. Yeah, because that's kind of what we've been critiquing with the reign so far. Ivy
looked great. I give it. I don't know. I mean, they're gonna do something. They need to. You know, have the mid-card women's titles featured on Mania. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the moment Ivy gets it. There's even, you know, Dakota. There's a lot of names that could be in the running. But Ivy looked great.
Yeah,
Ivy looked great.
I think it was a fun match.
I think she made a lot of fans last night. All right, we got the Seth and Punk, blah, blah. Punk and Rollins. All right. Ludwig Kaiser calls out Penta in a promo. Penta comes down, hands him, beats the shit out of him. It's a top rope thing, electric. I mean, this is a pretty cut and dry segment.
Yep.
But I like the build. It adds more. It was fun to see Penta come out and just do a segment like this, as we've been getting standard matches for the past few weeks.
Just a quick segment, but it does its job. Does its job.
I'm excited. Again, I know Pete Dunne, so I'm still really curious, like, if it's gonna end up just being like a showcase triple threat. Do they eventually end up getting in the IC title picture?
Right.
But I'm liking Ludwig and Penta have been great, so I'm curious to see where it goes from here.
There's so many possibilities with the mid card. It's like Braun Breaker's interacting with different people every week, I feel like. And like more people really are gunning for the title. And that, like, multi-person match I still think is going to happen. But like at the same time, like, I don't know what they're going to do. They might just have like 10 guys fight in one match for like the number one contender. So like I don't know who Braun Breaker's facing. I hope it's multi-man, but who's going to be involved in the match at this point? Fucking any. I've been pushing for Sheamus for so long, but he hasn't been on TV in so long. Know. So unfortunately, like my hope and confidence levels of that are diminishing.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, I guess.
This was great. They went all the way back. This was long overdue. We got the Chad Gable video segment of him finding
going to like a back alley or some shit like that.
Yeah, needing to find a master to fight the luchadors.
Assing around.
Yeah, he's like, do you know his name? Find someone in a back alley. He has a box for him. The guy says you must become Lucha. He pays like $500 for the box.
He kept asking for more money as he was giving it to him.
This was like, why haven't we been getting these every week? This was so funny and good.
And also, like, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box? I'm assuming
has to be a lucha mask.
It's gotta be a mask.
I can't fucking wait till we do a couple vignettes. He's training in some fucking whatever, and then he debuts as masked Chad Gable to get his ass kicked by Ray Fenix.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is tying into Ray Fenix.
I think so too.
I think that's what we're leading into.
I think
for sure.
It might be why this has been pushed off so much, because we needed, whatever.
Because there have been reports and stuff of like, obviously, Ray Fenix is a free agent now, and
as of like a couple days ago.
He probably has signed with WWE at this point, to be completely honest with you. But I heard that like it was obviously always expected, and that they've been like, they already started planning him. It was just a matter of, all right, once he gets released, we can go full throttle.
Yeah.
It seemed like that was what they were doing there. And if that's the case, and this is, again, just kind of like speculating, if Rey Fenix does show up, I think that takes Penta out of the IC title picture, because I think now we're getting the Lucha Brothers tag team.
See,
Personally.
I think the way...
Or they could go separate, have Rey go solo, and then they eventually
That's
team
what
up.
I'm thinking.
That could happen.
I'm thinking stay the course. Excuse me. I mean, stay the course till at least Mania. Have them both singles from Mania. And then you can... Because you can always put them as a tag team.
That makes sense.
But once you put them as a tag team, I mean, they can still be single stars, but like... There's a likelier chance like
they're gonna stay in the tag.
They're gonna stay, or you'll have to break them, which they'll break up eventually and have a match between the two, and that's gonna be great.
Because you could still have Penta be in like a multi-man match,
For
and just have him not take the pin and lose, and that's fine. And then after Mania, it's like, oh hey, brother, and then I
don't think they need to be together immediately.
I'm just thinking if they want to do like some sort of tag team match and they need like whatever, and the IC titles too like heavy. Yeah. I think they could fall back on that. They could do a few things if it is the case that Rey Fenix is around and shit.
Speaking of tag titles, we got War Raiders defending against Creed Brothers. Brutus hit a fucking 450. Dude, Julius hit a fucking shooting star that almost touched the roof.
Those two Evar, they all do some things that they're not supposed to do, bro.
Like, all four of these men.
Like they do some crazy shit. They do some high flying shit where it's like, how are they able to pull this off?
This was a fun match.
I liked it.
I thought the Creed brothers might take this one.
Yeah, after Ivy lost, I was kind of like, my confidence levels went down a little bit. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen one day. The American made will hold on to championship gold.
And I like they're still making sure to be like, we're gonna win it for Chad. So like he's gonna come back. He's gonna be in his lucha mask. I mean, no gold. So at least it's playing into a story. But when the Creed brothers finally win, again, maybe Mania, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
We got Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus New Day in a tornado tag match next week. Nice little promo by Rey and Dragon Lee. It was solid. Rey emphasized no DQ. Better to get this now than Mania.
Yeah,
it's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Get this out of the way.
Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about
that. And whatever
that.
we get into after that, we get into.
We were kind of talking about a little bit earlier, but we had a Finn Balor and Braun Breaker promo where Finn's down the Braun Breaker's being interviewed in the crowd. Finn calls out Braun. Braun makes his way down to the ring. Judgment Day of Carlito and Dom try to jump Braun, which that didn't work out. Dom at the end saved Finn from a spear, so Braun spears Carlito instead.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. So like we've been talking about with the IC title picture. Braun, I keep on going back to I really thought we were getting Finn versus Dom, but like I'm way cooler with no pun intended with Finn being involved in the IC title match.
Yeah,
you know.
Again, there's just so many people. I probably think of like 8 or 9 people that could be involved in the IC title match at WrestleMania. It's like there's so many different, and then you can do the solo match. It's like, what if they just did AJ Finn, or if they did like Penta, I don't know, Logan's in the mix. Maybe Logan AJ. I don't know. There's so many different fucking things they can do.
We're kind of at the I have one more note, but because we didn't go chronologically, I kind of lost track, but we are kind of at the last note. My last note is more of a funny thing where they like had 3 or 4 different edits of this scene.
They kept showing it, and I love that. They really want to emphasize just how crazy.
They all had a different mood. Like one was kind of focused on like people's reactions. There was a lot of creator friends that were shown. Shout out them.
Yep.
But the reason I noted this, I think it was the last one they showed, and they did the whole like go fuck yourself and whatever. And when Cody said go fuck yourself, the music that was playing behind Cody was as if he saved like a building from children from a burning building. It was just
the
like
most heroic, like a Rocky theme song. It was so shit like that.
I guess I didn't realize that was like a Star Wars theme, but
that's funny.
It was so fucking over the top in a good way. I'm not complaining about it. And then they cut to a bunch of fans and kids like crying and being disappointed. There was one kid on like
social media that was like bawling his eyes out.
We're so bad.
I love it.
But yeah, so that's like I said, kind of maybe an anticlimactic ending. I didn't realize we were at the end, but that is all, folks. Please head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. We're going to go, like I said, I'm going to chat about New York. We had a bunch of questions from you guys over there. Yeah. We're going to answer a bunch of random stuff that you guys sent in. So again, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling for $5 a month. We appreciate it as always. Thank you for being here. We'll see you all week on the show. We're at the road to WrestleMania. We are ramping up.
Oh, yeah.
And we hope you enjoyed. Everyone, I'll see you next time. Thank you as always for being here again.
Boom. Peace.
The Windy Apple, baby.
The Windy City. Woo! The city that never sleeps. The Peach State.
Have you seen, it's exactly what we're doing right now. Have you seen the Maryland Foodie Boys? No. All right, it's this group, dude. It's this group of kids.
He debuts a heel theme song. That alone.
The thing is, it's gonna be bad.
Well, he said that they.
What's his name? Anthony Brody.
Yeah, Adrian Brody is.
Adrian Brody. Yeah. Oh, get off the fucking stage.
The music was going, and